3, hit it!
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to today's Caffeine for the Soul. Did you know there's a Caffeine for the Soul app? If you go to the Apple App Store or you go to the Google Play Store, you can download the Caffeine for the Soul app, and it will give you not only an easy way to access all our podcasts, past, present, and future, but all sorts of other programs, including the free basic course, which is a sort of a fundamental introduction to the things that I talk about in these podcasts each week. And today, what I want to talk about, what I want to share is a metaphor that I first started sharing a number of years ago when I used to run a program called Learning How to Thrive. And at the beginning of the training, I would jot up on a flip chart, no signal, and then 5 bars, kind of like on your phone, a short bar, a bigger bar, a bigger bar, a bigger bar, and a biggest bar. And I would go around the group and I would go, how many bars right now? And the first time I went round, because I usually wouldn't explain it much more than that, there'd always be a few people who went, what? What are you talking? I don't know. And there'd be a few people who'd go, oh, 5 bars. Oh, no signal. Oh, 3 bars. And they intuitively, instinctively saw that in any moment, we are more or less tuned in to our own wisdom, more or less tuned in to life. We have more or less clarity of mind, presence of mind. And when we have 5 bars, we have access to everything that we've got inside us. When we have 3 bars, still usually pretty good access. When we're down to 1 bar, it gets a bit spotty. It kind of comes in and out. And when we've got no signal, when we're completely offline, all we've got is whatever's stored on our phones. Like all we've got access to is whatever information is already sitting in our brain. And so thriving, living with 4 or 5 bars is natural, but it isn't constant. Now, how does it actually work? Well, when it comes to the human mind, signal strength is constant. In other words, the intelligence behind life, the energy behind life. If you have a religious bent, God is. There is no variance in signal. In the Kabbalah, the Jewish system of understanding spirituality, there is Ein Sof, the light of the world. And then there are layers of illusion, and I never remember whether there are 23 or 26 veils of illusion. And so the spiritual journey is the removing of the veils. And as each veil is removed, it seems like the light of God, the light of spirit becomes brighter, but in fact, the light is constant. The variable is the interference, the veils. Well, when it comes to our own psychology, the signal strength, the intelligence behind life, our capacity for well-being, our capacity to thrive is constant. It just is. It's the default. It's how we're made. Babies don't need therapy. They're living in it. They're soaking in it. There's no interference. There are no veils yet. But as we grow older, even from a very, very, very early age, there starts to be interference in the signal. And when it comes to human beings, the interference is the energy of thought. It's the personal thought system. It's the energy that emanates off the brain. It's biological, it's biochemical. And because that is a variable system, our signal strength appears to vary. So the source of the signal is constant, but the signal that's coming through to us in any given moment is variable. Why is this helpful? Because if you know how many bars, and I'll ask you again, if you didn't do it the first time I shared the metaphor, right now, how many bars? Do you have no signal at all? Are you offline? Do you have 1 bar, 2 bars, 3 bars, 4 bars, 5 bars? The stronger the signal, the easier life is going to seem. It's like one of my favorite metaphors came from Dr. Aaron Turner, one of my colleagues who in a meeting we were talking with a large corporation, the head of a large corporation, and he said, Aaron said, look, think of the mind like this. Think of it like a car with a V12 engine. When you've got all 12 cylinders firing, big hills are going to feel like straightaways, like flats. When you're running on 1 or 2 cylinders, a mostly flat road is going to feel like a steep hill. And it's the same with us in life. Our signal strength affects how easy or difficult life seems. It doesn't necessarily affect the details of the challenges that we take on, but it affects our experience of them, whether we experience them as simple and easy and fun and challenging, or whether we experience them as hard and difficult and overwhelming and discouraging. And if you are tuned in to your own signal, it makes sense of our experience of life. Now, how do I increase signal strength? Well, I can't increase the signal. That's constant. But my signal strength will increase as my personal thinking decreases. So the less I have on my mind, the stronger the signal. The less I care what I have on my mind, so that it just comes and goes like just random thought, random noise, the stronger the signal. Sid Banks, the Scottish mystic, used to talk about looking for a silent mind. Not a mind without noise, but the mind inside of which noise comes and goes. Looking for a quiet mind and a beautiful feeling. When we are in a quiet mind, beautiful feelings start to come through, and our signal strength increases. When we are in beautiful feelings, our thinking system quiets, and we experience more bars. And the more bars, the more ease. The more bars, the more resources. The more bars, the quicker our resilience comes to the fore and our creativity comes to the rescue. Have fun, learn heaps, happy exploring. And how many bars? I'll talk to you soon.